Hi, I'm Kathleen Tometz of Doodle Art and Design, and I'm going to show you how to make a really fun Halloween piece of art. This is called Designing Your Halloween Costume. And the finished product is something you can hang up or, put in just out at Halloween time. You can also use this project just to make a fun dress design or clothing design piece. So what you need to get started is a drawing of a person. In the design world, in fashion design, the designers use something called a croquis or a croquis. It's a French word, Croquis, and it is a drawing of a model. And so they make a couple of drawings in different, or more than a couple, in different poses, and then they use that over and over to design their outfit on. So you can Google this and then print some out, and then it's a good basis to start your project. So I'm going to cut these out real quick and then we'll get started. So what you're going to need, which I forgot to tell you, was you need your croquis. I have two, and a black, I get these on Blick. It's kind of a cardboard, it's black presentation board. You of course can do it white or whatever color you want. I like the way that it pops on the black. Some markers. I like to mix Prismacolor markers with color pencils or watercolor pencils, but you can, do whatever you want. You can just do regular markers. Some paper. So my boy is going to be a plate of waffles for Halloween, and my girl is going to be a ballerina. So I'm gonna get started. I'm just going to color these in real quick, and you can leave them white if it's just the design, or you can color them. So what I'm gonna do is color in my gal, and I'm gonna first do my watercolor pencils. Make sure your table is smooth. So she would be wearing, her whole theme is sort of a purpley color, so I'm going to color her tights in, and her outfit's going to be this paper. So I'll color in her bottoms, but the paper, actually she's gonna wear the same color. Her tights are coming all the way up, and I'm just, so as always, you can do as much detail or as little detail as you want. And the reason why I mix my, my markers with I'm missing my purple marker. The reason why I mix my markers with the pencil is it gives a really nice effect. So I've got a purple, I've done her legs, and I'm just gonna mix this in. I don't draw the face on. I don't draw noses and eyes and all that because, it depends if your croquis has them, if you want to put that detail. I do not like drawing faces, so I avoid them, and I think this leaves a focus on the costume. And the nice thing about the croquis is, if you're not a good drawer, it just makes it's just going to look good because it's been sort of drawn for you. Okay, I'm going to mix. And then I'm going to give her some dark hair just because it's what I have available. There we go. A little bob. And then I'm going to color my guy I'm actually going to leave him white because he is going to be wearing an all white costume. So I'm also going to give him dark hair because those are the pencils I have out, just to be efficient. And sorry about that. Okay. And so what you want to do is then make your costume. So I've got my guy colored in, and he is going to be he's going to have a plate. And so I want it to be, I sort of want it going like, I think across his arms. So I'm going to do, with a pencil, I'm just going to draw a plate. Nothing fancy. And I'm going to cut it out. Now you can use, I'm using hot glue. You can use regular glue on this if you want. So this is a really easy one and fun. I had gotten, I buy a lot of paper, like scrapbooking paper that I use for other things. So here's his plate. We could actually have his, I don't know if I like his arm like that or like this. And I got this cool paper, and look at this, there's waffles on it. So this is a really easy, fun paper, and it will be a fun costume because sometimes kids don't want to put like a ton of drawing and whatnot. And so however you can get the effect that you want in the quickest way possible, then that's what you should do. And if you love to draw or love to paint or, you know, whatever it is that you love to do, then you should spend the time doing that. But if you don't love it, you can still make art with these shortcuts. So I'm going to just cut out this waffle. And the waffles are going on the plate. So I'm just going to actually, I like 3D, so I forgot to tell you, sticky foam squares, these are great. So you're gonna put your person on, your croquis on, with the sticky foam squares, and that just gives them a little bit of, see how I'm putting them along the back? It gives him a little bit of dimension on his background. So you put this on, pull this off, pull these guys off. And then just stick them right in the center. And then I'm going to actually use the sticky foam squares on here. I'm not even going to use the hot glue. So on the plate, I'm putting the sticky foam squares. I'm putting the plate on a little bit sideways. And then my two waffles that I've just cut out, I'm going to put a little foam square on each one of these. And I'm going to put them right on the plate. And I'm sort of staggering them. You could have, he could be carrying a fork and a knife. I think I'm going to put pants on him because he looks, actually I'm going to color his whole outfit because he just looks a little bit bare. So if he's a boy out there, he'd probably like to wear a pair of jeans. So I'm just going to color in a pair of jeans, which I would have recommended doing this before you glued, but as I told you, I thought he was going to be wearing all white to match his plate, but I think he'll look better if he has a contrast. And maybe he'll be wearing, like, I don't know, a yellow t-shirt. So as I said, I would decide this before, not in the middle of the presentation. And there he is, Mr. Waffle. Now you could put a little waffle thing on his head. That might be a little bit over the top. I think this is nice and simple boy costume. So we'll put that down. And then for the girl costume, we've got her, oops, going here, all colored in. Watch you don't burn yourself on your hot glue gun. I'm going to trace her shirt here. So you can get this pretty exact. I'm just gonna put like a little line here and here and here. And then I know, actually it'd be better to do it on the white side. So flipping it over, I'm gonna do this. That way it won't show. And then I'm going to sort of fill in how it fits. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I get this right. And then do a little cutout. So I did a little cutout for her shirt. So there's her little shirt. Look at that. Pretty good. Now that you can use regular glue. I'm just using hot glue because this is what I have, but regular glue would actually be better just because it won't lump up or anything. So I'm gluing on her shirt, well, which is her leotard. And so we've got that, her leotard glued on. Then say I want to have my skirt. So I have a little bit of these rolls of tulle. This is where you really do want hot glue. Cut some off. You want to cut a pretty good length because you want to bunch it up. So I'm bunching it like this and trying to get it nice so it looks nice. And then I'm just going to put it on with glue. So say I want it a little bit shorter. I could actually make her a very thick skirt by folding it over. It's however you want to do it. I think I'm going to do the shorter skirt really thick, and I'm just going to put a pretty good amount of hot glue right at her waist and then pop this on. So you just have to make sure, because it's so many layers, you just sort of have to press it on. I have to use my pencil to just sort of hold it in there. And if you have a piece of ribbon, you can make like a sash for her. I don't have ribbon, but I might throw a jewel on there. Or a big flower. So I've got a cute little flower right there. I'll probably do a matching flower in her hair with a feather. So I've got a couple of feathers. I forgot to tell you. So you want tulle, you want your croquis, some tulle. I have sparkly flowers, feathers, like jewels. I even have a jewel here, which I'm going to glue this feather. So feathers, say you want to bend it, you can just, well, I call it breaking the spine. I don't know the feathers have a spine, but it seems like a spine. So then look at that, curls so nicely. You could do it with a curling iron, but this is just, we're doing it quick. And I had this other little feather. So I'm going to give this a snip the end off because it's too long, and I'm gluing it right onto her. I'm going to put these 2 feathers on. And then I'm going to pop on, ooh, you know what? She's got this other, I have another bigger flower. I am going to pull this off. Actually, yeah, I'm going to pull it and put the big feather. I'm going to press it on there. I pulled its gem off because I have this other gem that I'm going to pop on. Okay, so I've got all her stuff on. There she is. And then I take her the presentation board, and I put on my sticky foams and pop them on. This is, when you have a lot of time, this is really a fun project because it's just, it's building, it's designing, all that stuff is going to help. And I've been teaching kids art for 5 years, and a lot of them do not want to use scissors. They're always at, Mrs. Tometz, could you please cut this for me? And I have to tell them, no, it's really good for them to be using scissors. So in the day and age of screens, scissors are, yikes, scissors are really important, or cutting, I should say, not scissors, but you need scissors to cut. You could cut these foam squares to make them thinner so they don't show. So I'm putting, you want the foam squares to go all the way down to the bottom of your piece because they will, you don't want your legs popping up or the thin areas. I would even put it on this arm because eventually the arm could, with time, it might start to curl. You want it to last. So I just put them all along the back. I'll show you. See, she's all sticky foamed. And then, so she's a little taller than my piece, but that's fine because I'm not putting this in a frame. And there we have our ballerina girl. I can't stress enough how fun this is and how easy, especially if you print croquis off the internet. If you try and draw them, that adds a whole other dimension, and that's a great thing to do too. When I was in taking fashion classes in art school, we had to make our own. So have fun with it. I hope that you have a great Halloween this year. And this is a good way to remember your kid's costume or your own costume. Thank you.